Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill this one out together, and you're essentially just going to type what I'm typing. So it should be word for word what I'm saying for this, because I just want to make sure that you kind of understand how to fill out the quarter 3 skill practice. So we are going to do this with Piper. I already put that title in there for you, and then I just put Pixar short for the author because there is really no author for this one, but it's a Pixar short. This section here where it says theme, and I put it in orange because we're going to do this later in the quarter, so don't worry about this one. We're going to just skip it. And then down here, we're going to go ahead and fill in the story elements. If you've not watched this, I need you to go ahead over here and click and watch it. I'm not going to take the time to watch this right now because I have watched it. So if you need to pause and go here and watch it, that is fine. You may go ahead and go do that, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. So again, whatever I type, I want you to type. Okay. All right. So we're going to deal with the conflict. So I'm going to use this format, character wanted, but, okay. So I'm going to say Piper, and he's the small bird, but Piper wanted food. Okay. But, and I'm going to do this because I like to use that. So I know that I'm actually have that in my conflict. Okay. Because Piper wanting food is not a conflict. But when you say what's in the way of him getting food, that creates the conflict, okay? Piper wanted food, but the waves kept crashing into him when he went to get the food on the shoreline, okay? Now, it may sound a little bit different because I know on the previous slide I had a little bit different, but it's about the same. There's not going to be 100% like, no, you have to have these words and only these words. But it should be something like, what is keeping him from getting the food? And you explain that in your own words. You can use my words, but if you have something better and you're like, that doesn't sound right to you, that's fine. You can change that, but it should be about the same, okay? Because again, we're just going in this in the fact of, here's how you fill it out. That's it. All right. So then I like to do the resolution of the conflict next, just because I like to make sure that the conflict and the resolution to the conflict match. Okay. So again, I'm going to look at what it says here. It says, did the character get what they wanted? Look at the conflict box above and make sure they connect. Okay. So did the character get what he wanted? And yeah, he did. So I'm going to say Piper got food by by burrowing down in the sand. Okay. And we'll stop there. All right. So then after I have that, so I know that Piper wanted food and I know that he got food. So now I have to type in here 2 things that happened before, like in between those 2 things. So I know Piper wanted food and then he got food. I need to have 2 specific things that happened. All right. So I'm going to say that Piper, I don't know, let's see. Oh my goodness, sorry. Piper went for food after, no, I want to say it's different. Sorry, Piper went for food, saw the wave coming and ran away. I'm going to say this. The food didn't even get covered by water. Okay, so that's one of the things that happened. Next thing, which I think is a really important one, is that Piper met a crab, I think, and saw how they burrowed in the sand. Okay, that's a really important one, I feel like, because that allowed him, Piper, to learn how to burrow down to get his food, because he was able to see where all the food was. Okay, all right, and then the resolution to the story. There could be 2 here. If you wanted to go with the fact of he was really happy and running around on the sand, that's fine. You could say that. Or you could even do the very, very, very end, which was what I'm going to choose, is that Piper was falling asleep. Oh my goodness. Can't type. Asleep next to mom. And he had a lot of empty, I guess they were empty, I don't know. A lot of shells, food, next to him. Okay, and so when I see that, and again, I want to be specific. So at the very end, that's what he is. He's falling asleep, and all of a sudden, like his mom's in the back, he has lots of shells around him, and he's just happy. I feel like that's that inference that's coming out because he's no longer hungry. He is full because he has had a lot of food from that. Okay. All right. So that's all I really wanted to do with you today. I just wanted you to see how we take the information and put it into this chart rather than the chart that we used the last 2 weeks. Okay. So if you have all that stuff typed into yours, you can go ahead and you can move on to the next thing. All right. Awesome.